All right, guys, this is Sky from Vengeance, coming back as promised this weekend with another special quarantine hypertrophy workout. This time is going to be a biceps focus as opposed to last weekend, which was a tricep focused workout. Now, a lot of the same variables have not changed. All the training logic from last weekend will carry over into this workout. So if you haven't seen last week's tricep focus quarantine hypertrophy workout, you want to do that, where I'm going in depth about all these training variables. But just real quick, I'm going to go through the workout and then we will move forward with demonstration videos. Just like last week, we're going to begin the training day with a hard and heavy compound based movement before going into 2 supersets. So this one we will be performing 5 sets of chin-ups. I put 5 sets of 6 because I think that's a happy medium for most people. However, if you want to add reps or decrease reps, you can do that. That being said, I weigh about 205, and normally when I'm training chin-ups, I can do a lot of them. When you implement a 4-second negative and only use a 90-second rest, 5 by 6 is actually pretty challenging, especially if you add, say, 10 to 20 pounds of extra load. This will get very challenging. So give it a shot at 5 by 6 with a strict 4-second lowering phase. You should not be disappointed. However, add reps or add weight if you need to. All right, now quickly moving on. The next thing you're doing here is that superset, some type of straight bar curl, and then a 75-second rest into some sort of overhead tricep extension. Now, if you have a barbell, please go ahead and do strict barbell curls. If you don't, in the demo videos following this, I'll show you what I'm doing with a dowel rod and some bands, okay? Use that 3-second negative when you curl, so lowering down for 3 seconds, curl up to the top and squeeze the peak contraction for 1 full count as hard as you can. Once you do your first set of 8, you're going to rest 75 seconds, 1:15, and then you're going into some form of overhead tricep extension for a set of 8 with a 3-second lowering phase. All right, then a 75-second rest. You're doing this for 4 rounds. Now, if you have some type of decline bench at home, you can certainly do decline lying tricep extensions with an easy curl bar, with a dumbbell, with a straight bar, with a kettlebell, whatever you like. However, in this video, I'm demonstrating how to do this with your dowel rod and resistance bands, okay? So I filmed a lot of these videos today, really keeping those people in mind who are limited to basically nothing. I'm pretty sure all of the squat racks and barbells and plates are all out of stock, I've checked, but I'm pretty sure you can still find resistance bands and a broom. And then the final superset, again, is biceps and triceps. You're doing extension curls. That's what I'm calling them because your shoulder is in the shoulder extension position. You're holding it there and curling. Think incline curls. And that being said, if you have an incline bench and some dumbbells, please just do dumbbell incline curls. However, I'm demoing the banded version of that. The tempo here is a 3-second negative. You're doing these for sets of 10, only resting 60 seconds in between. After your first set of curls, you're going straight into some type of tricep pushdowns, 3 sets of 10 with a 3-second lowering phase, 60-second rest, and then round 2, and then round 3. Now, if you have a cable machine and you can do rope press downs, please do that. Like I said, keeping with the theme of this video, I will be doing banded tricep extensions. Guys who've never worked out with bands really have no idea how effective they are. I certainly didn't until I had a coach that made me do a ton of my accessory work with bands. If you are vigilant and make sure that you put enough tension on the bands for everything that you're doing, you're sticking to the tempo, you're sticking to a nice full range of motion, you're trying to squeeze as hard as you can, you are sticking to the rest periods and not fucking around between sets, you will get a massive pump even with bands. All right, so let's get into how I'm doing these. Here I am finishing these chin-ups. I actually had to parse out my last set of 6 into 2 sets of 3 because I was being so strict about the form, about that 4-second negative and a full range of motion. Guys, if you want to make this hard, you can. You just have to make sure that you're making it hard. That being said, if you cannot do chin-ups, do not skip the chin-up portion of this workout, which means don't skip the big, heavy compound movement. This really primes your body and gets everything nice and fatigued before you go into these smaller, relatively easier movements. So if you need to do some type of inverted row, I've seen lots of people recently doing rows off of the side of a table or off of the tailgate of a truck. Do some inverted rows, some type of big, heavy rowing movement to pump some blood all throughout your arms and your back and into your biceps. Remember, this is a bicep focused workout, and this is just the perfect way to start this workout off. So don't skip these, don't make them easy on yourself, make everything hurt. Next exercise on the list is a barbell curl or a straight bar curl. This is what you're going to do, or what you can do if you don't have a barbell. Get some bands. If you don't have some, go to elitefts.com and order some resistance bands. Here I'm using 4 of their light bands. 4 of them paired together, plus a wide base, a wide stance, really allowed me to get a lot of tension on these bands and actually get a really good 4x8 curl, especially with that 3-second negative and hold at the top. Now remember, you're doing 1 set of 8, resting 75 seconds, and then going into your tricep movement before going back and doing the next set of 8 on your straight bar curls. So here I'm trying to come up with a way to do an overhead tricep extension. You're sort of limited to what you can do with the triceps when you're using only bands. If you have dumbbells, kettlebells, any kind of weight, even an Olympic plate, go ahead and just do some lying tricep extensions. If you have a bench, use the bench so you can get a deeper stretch in the bottom. But if all you have are bands, you can set it up just like this and get some really good overhead tricep extensions. Make sure you squeeze hard at the top. I found it helpful to get into this if I put the rod and the bands around my neck first and then stepped into the bands. Also, don't forget to widen your base in order to increase the resistance of the bands. Here's the resistance band substitution for an incline curl, which puts your shoulder into extension, which means the upper arm is behind the body, working your bicep from a different angle, a more challenging, more exploitative angle. Anchor the bands at a low point, bend over, keep your elbows behind the torso as best as you can, curl up, hold that peak contraction hard at the top for 1 count, and then lower down for 3 seconds. You can anchor the bands in something like the bottom of a door frame with a closed door. I think they even sell bands that have some sort of anchoring system that are made for closing into doors. You can go outside, wrap them around the post of your mailbox, whatever you need to do to anchor it at a low point. Bend over, shove your elbows up behind you, try to keep them into that position, and curl up without allowing the elbows to travel too far forward. After each set of extension curls, you're going to superset them with some type of triceps pushdowns. If you have a cable machine and can do rope pushdowns, do them. However, if you're limited to bands, you're not really missing that much. If you put enough resistance on that band, shorten that band up, use that 3-second tempo, get a hard peak contraction, and you're going to get as much out of these as you would otherwise with other equipment. Go and loop them around the chin-up bar, use a door frame, whatever you need to get it done. So that's it, guys. Here's the workout program again, in case you want to screenshot that, save it for later, send it to someone else. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, comments, concerns, and be thinking of things that you would like me to touch on in a later video. All right? Talk to you soon.